welcome to the Waypoint podcast. I'm going to be your host this week, Alec Bobko, and I am joined by our other co-host, Jordan.
What's up, everyone?
Chris.
Hey, it's Chris, aka Rumble Pack 92 in the building.
We also got Josh.
Howdy, gamers.
And Austin.
Oh, it's me with the fresh cut. Let's go. Let's get it.
Damn, you're a sexy
Look at that.
beast.
Looks so good.
Ooh,
Thank you.
damn.
Yeah. So today we are coming to you with our most anticipated games of 2021 episode. But before we get to actually talking about the games, we did offline a Fantasy Critic League. So you guys can actually follow along with that. There'll be a link in the description that you can follow. That we did, we had 6 games. We can have 13 total. And we're just going to go through and recap our teams. So, Jordan, since you were the first to draft, why don't you tell us your team?
Alrighty, so my publishing company is Ellicott Electronic Entertainment, also known as E3, because I don't think anyone in video games uses that. And my games are God of War Ragnarok. I'm going to go out of order and you'll see why.
You son of a bitch.
Listen, I got the first pick, went for the biggest one. God of War Ragnarok.
Son of a bitch.
Let's hope it comes out this
It's a
year.
bloodbath.
I know, yeah, we have no idea.
I'm hoping it's a small game. I'm hoping it's a Miles thing.
It honestly might be. I could see them going
Oh.
with more of those smaller scale games.
I got Skatebird because I've honestly been looking forward to that game for like a year now. Like, I'm very excited for it.
Same here.
Like, once every 3 months, I'm like, did it come out yet? I honestly think that was just going to be a safe pick. Like, people aren't going to expect much. Tiny bird, tiny skateboard, big room. It's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. It's going to be one of those dumb games you play on, mindlessly, and people aren't going to expect more than that. I also picked Goodbye Volcano High.
Could go wrong.
This one I feel is like Life is Strange mixed with like
Furries.
a more interactive novel. I'm going to say slightly more interactive novel gameplay, but sure. Listen, man.
Chris coming in with that chaotic
somebody
energy.
who despises the furry.
Today, bro.
Is someone who, and maybe this might be controversial to say, someone who dislikes the furries. I think Volcano High isn't a furry thing. I'm also just think it's hilarious that the seniors don't realize they're all about to die, and that's fun. Also picked another safe pick, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Complete Edition. People loved that game when it came out. And then my other 2 games, I'm going to use this to segue into something else, is new Pokemon Snap, which was announced in May, so I would hope it comes out in 2021. They didn't give a date yet, but it'd be weird if they announced it 2 years in advance.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
true.
the unannounced Pokemon games for 2021, which are rumored right now to be Diamond and Pearl remakes, which I'm very excited for. Sinnoh was like when I really got into Pokemon. A lot of my favorite Pokemon come from the Sinnoh, and I just want to segue that into, I'm just so anticipated to see what Pokemon does in 2021. It's their 25th anniversary. They teased at the Thanksgiving Day parade that like, oh, we got shit planned. During their 20th anniversary. Like, they did a lot of cool stuff with just each month getting a mythical Pokemon for your games. So, a lot of cool things come out. Now they have even more mobile game stuff going on. There's going to be a lot of things. So I'm excited. I'm actually very excited for this year with
Go
Pokemon.
too.
I'm
Can I be honest with you, Jordan?
Yeah.
My assumption about the 25th anniversary is going to be some big event in Pokemon Go. I'm sorry.
There's
There's
100%
it's
It's going to be multiple.
that's
Yeah,
going to be a part, yeah.
Pokemon Go always does stuff like that. I don't think that's going to be their big thing.
No. I don't see them doing a 25th anniversary type game. I don't know why.
they'll
My
do
gut's
it.
telling me
They'll
they
Oh,
do
they
will.
will, yeah.
They'll take any
no,
excuse. They'll take
this
any
year.
excuse
Pokemon
to
used to-
re-release a game.
Pokemon used to do, or the past few years have been doing yearly releases, and they haven't since they skipped 2020 with Sword and Shield. And we know new Pokemon Snap's coming. But I
Sword and
can't
Shield came out?
imagine that. What? Sword and Shield came out.
last year?
No,
Came out
it
Came
was
out
19. It was just the expansions last year.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did
the
DLC
expansions
stuff.
came out in 2020
Yeah.
instead of the third game, so technically there was a release. And I think this year there has to be a mainline game. The rumor is Diamond and Pearl remakes, but I'll also say too, the Pokemon's next Generation 9. I
Mhm.
think that'll be too early, but I'm going to count this as anything.
Yeah.
That, or even just another Let's Go, maybe Johto this time. But I think there's going to be a more
down for
mainline
that.
game.
Yeah.
should we give our counter picks, or should we wait till everyone says theirs and then we'll say what we counter picked?
Yeah,
So-
let's
Yeah,
wait
that
for the
seems to
counter
work,
pick
yeah.
because it
Yeah.
kind of gives away other people's picks. So.
Yep.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It gives away all of my picks because y'all just went against me.
Because Josh
Hard
is a
feelings,
controversial
hard
boy.
feelings. Wow.
I
Never would
mean,
have thought.
you're not
Never
wrong.
would've thought.
What happened?
We decided to just hold off on the counter picks until everybody else has said their list to not spoil other people's list. And then Josh said that, yeah, because we would spoil
Okay,
his entire
Josh's?
list.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. Chris, you were the second pick.
It's true. I was the second pick, and I did my best to try and I want to try and hit as many AAAs as I could because those typically perform really, really well.
Yep.
Because of course, this son of a bitch took God of War from me.
That's me.
I had to go with what I consider the next best thing, which was Horizon Forbidden West, which I mean it was a game that was very, very, very well received.
Mhm.
It's a fantastic game. I mean, it really was. I'm very excited to play the second one. It's going to be dope. If y'all know me, if you've ever sat in my shoes, you know I'm a Halo fan. I couldn't not pick Halo Infinite. I know that that's a riskier pick. There is kind of a question of, hey, is it going to be good or
Yeah.
not? But it was
Yep.
like I saw Halo Infinite, and I was like, I have to have it on my list. Like I can't not. It would hurt me if I didn't. And also, I didn't want Josh to have it. So
Respect
That
it.
could make or break your entire ranking in
no,
this.
dude,
It really
yeah,
could.
if Halo Infinite sucks, I'm in trouble. I just picked Monster Hunter Rise just because I mean those games typically perform very, very well. It's the first one on the Switch, and it's the first like really like super narrative based game. So I'm curious to see how that one does. I think it'll be fun. I'm not particularly a huge Monster Hunter fan, but hey, if it reviews well, I'm thinking about picking it up. Final Fantasy 16 was another one I picked. Final Fantasy has been killing it, especially over the last few years with 15 and 7 remake. Like both those games are really good, and I know that the online Final Fantasy 14, I think that one is, has been doing super, super well. I had to pick Resident Evil Village 8, just because it's Resident Evil. Again, that's another series that has been absolutely killing it with all of their recent releases, with the remakes of 2 and 3, and then Resident Evil 7 was just. I loved Resident Evil 7. And then I also managed somehow to nab the 2021 Game of the Year, which is Party Animals.
So pissed about that. I was gonna pick it, and
Which
he
one
stole
is
it right
that?
from it. It's the Gang Beasts. It's the game that's like Gang Beasts, but they have weapons too.
And also it works.
Animal.
That too.
It's really polished Gang Beasts, but I mean, yeah, they added weapons. It's like if
Oh,
you mashed Gang Beasts and Power Stone together. Like that's
Yeah.
got it.
that's
Yep.
what it is, and it's just
It's
even
so
in
much
even in
fun.
that demo where there's one mode and 3 maps, I have never had that much fun with a video game in
Yep.
years. Like that, I
And
haven't laughed
eight
that
people
hard.
can play.
Yeah.
No, it
Yeah,
reminds me. I was about to say.
chaos.
It reminds me of the. Do you guys see that like cat version of Super Smash Bros. That's coming out on the Switch? That was
Similar.
announced?
It's similar.
Yeah, similar
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah.
But I mean, literally, it was supposed to come out last year. They said 2020.
Yep.
It didn't happen. I'm still upset about it because that game is so much fun. But it's going to be this year, and it's going to be the best
Mhm.
game that's ever been made.
The fact that it was so fun with just the one mode, like
Yeah.
it's just I just released
They
that
add
as a
more
game.
weapons, more maps. Like it's
More
more
modes?
game types. Like it's gonna be
love it.
crazy fun. I mean, seriously, I've never laughed that much
Yeah.
at a video game in my entire life.
Just go
Like,
look at his
it is
clips.
so
Like
much fun. So many. I have so many from Party Animals. But yeah, that's my list.
Picks like Forbidden West and Halo. How crazy it is that you have Party Animals and that seems like your most promising pick. That's crazy, but it seems so true.
Yeah, dude. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's
Yeah.
as good as those games are probably gonna be. They're not gonna be able to touch Party Animals, except maybe Halo Infinite.
all right,
Fingers crossed.
yeah. So
I think we
I
all
had-
have one of those.
yeah,
At least
Sorry,
one.
I feel like we all have one of those. Like, oh, that's an indie game that's just going to be a surefire.
I have
yeah,
like
that's true.
5 of those.
I was the AAA guy. My entire list is all AAA games.
Yeah,
I think Party Animals was the only indie one on mine.
I had the third pick, and my publisher name is Super Bob Games, which is an homage to one of my favorite games of last year's, Hades.
Oh, I forgot to say my publisher name.
What was it? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it's a reference to one of my Twitch emotes actually, which is called Rumble 32 Champ. So I named my publisher the Rumble Champ 92.
Nice. Yeah. So my number one pick, I went with Deathloop, just because it's Arcane Studios. You got them
It
off the
was
top of
sick.
their game, coming off of Dishonored 2 and Prey. They learned so much with those games, and then you just throw on this like sci-fi 70s-esque vibe to it all. I mean, I think that game's gonna do so
Absolutely.
well.
I think the game's going to be good, but I still think it's risky.
I think there's potential that it could not do well.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
But if it does well, I think it's going to do super, super well. Like
It's gonna
like
kill
the,
it, yeah.
the concept is so unique.
yeah.
The high ceiling. High ceiling.
Yep.
Mhm.
Then I went with a game that's actually going to be releasing very soon, with Hitman 3, just because those games, they've just been killing it with those first two. It's like, yes, the episodic games of the first one, or episodic release of the first one, wasn't the best received, but they were still great games. So I think 3 is still gonna just review great. Then for my third and fourth pick, I had two games that I was looking through the list and it's like, ooh, I want that one, but then I saw one earlier or higher up that was still available. It's like, if that one's still available for my fourth pick, I'll get it. And the game I picked for my third was Back for Blood, because my thought was I did not hear a bad thing about that closed alpha.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's going to review pretty well.
Absolutely.
For my fourth pick, both Josh with his 2 picks and Austin missed it, so I picked up Mass Effect Legendary Edition, getting that trilogy remaster. So
Missed it. Come on.
Unless
I
unless
love
they
that game.
fuck the port up of that really, really
Exactly.
badly, there's no way that one doesn't do
Well,
well.
I was gonna say this might be a hot take. I think that one is slightly risky based on one thing I've heard, which is the people who are doing the port feel as if the first one doesn't, because the first one plays so differently than the other two, and the controls haven't aged as well as the other two. They want to kind of, it's kind of want to not remake it, but redesign it a little bit, kind of rework it, freshen it up. And I think that if people are disappointed with that choice, if that rumor is true, 2, if people are disappointed with that choice, that might break that game. But that's one to look out for.
Yeah. So for me, like, I've always been telling people that remaster needs to go the route that Mafia did, where they needed like almost remake or like redesign the first game, but then just remaster the second and third.
Yeah, up-res the other two. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a lot easier to say when it's not a massive, massive game. I just want to say that. Mass Effect, massive, haha, jokes. But I feel like it's a lot easier to remake Mafia 1 than it is to remake the original Mass Effect. That's all I'm saying.
Right, but that's why I'm saying, like Jordan was saying, not necessarily remake it, but like redesign, rework it.
Yeah, because Mafia was just a GTA clone.
That's true, yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I played it.
I also don't think Mafia has as a controversial, and I don't mean like, in terms of like controversies. I mean like the audience reception hasn't been as controversial or polarized as Mass Effect has been.
Yep. Then for my last 2 picks, I went with Overwatch 2, just because that gameplay stuff released, I would say, kind of around midway point of last year, or fairly early, so I think that it's poised for a good 2021 release. And then for my last pick, I wanted to go with Persona 5 Strikers, but because it released over in Japan on PS4 and Switch and all that, it's ineligible for this league. So
Poor thing.
Yep. I went with No More Heroes 3.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Which
so
is
that's a solid pick. So I was kind of played it somewhat safe. It definitely has the risks on there, but there's a lot of safe picks too.
Yeah.
Austin, you had the fourth pick.
I was next, correct?
Yep.
That was me. Yep. Okay. So like Albob said, he has a lot of risky picks. I feel like mine are pretty safe, with the exception of maybe one in here. But with my first overall pick, I took Breath of the Wild 2. Seems like a surefire win. Probably
if it releases.
The floor for that, like, yeah, it's true. The floor for that is like a 9. Let's be real.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
100%.
And then after that, I went with another Nintendo game, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
That's
I have no shame in Exactly, and picking those 2 safe picks. My third pick was Disco Elysium: The Final Cut. I'm really hyped to play this game. It reviewed well.
It's so
Like the original reviewed well, so I'm hoping this does the same numbers. I don't know why it wouldn't. After that, I took 12 Minutes, which is probably one of my most anticipated games going into 2021. I that like we were talking when we were doing the Fantasy Critic draft. The cast for that game is incredible. Willem Dafoe probably headlines it. There's a few others that I can't remember right now, but
James McAvoy and Daisy Ridley
James
are the 2
McAvoy.
main.
We got the Green
It's
Goblin,
incredible.
Professor X, and Ray. Boom.
What a family.
Checked all those boxes. Checked all those boxes. All right,
Yeah.
we can make a game now. Let's go.
It's
I
it's
grabbed
Patton
Groundhog
Oswald's
Day.
Parks and Rec filibuster the game.
Oh my god.
That is a joke for like 8 people.
What a pull, man, but I love it.
I love it.
All right, moving on after that. That wonderful joke, Jordan. Dead Cells, Fatal Falls. I'm not even sure if that's a sequel or if that's an expansion. I think it's an expansion, but I don't know.
Mhm.
I just saw Dead Cells and I was like, I gotta have it. And pretty much the same thing goes for Cuphead: The Delicious Last Course. Is that an expansion as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realize
Just
you were
to-
asking me. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really know too much about these games. I know what reviews well, I know what people like, and that's what I went with a lot of safe picks. So say what you will, I am happy with my list.
I like it. I like
All
it.
right.
It's a good one, strong one.
For sure.
Yeah.
I didn't have
That's the-
Josh's.
And Josh,
Yeah.
you were the last
Exactly.
pick.
I took the helm of Some Other Studios, aka SOS.
Oh, I didn't say my studio.
I didn't even pick that up.
God damn. All right, what was the studio, Austin? Go for it. Go for it.
Naughty
That's such a
Cat.
genius name. Perfect.
Naughty Cat was my name. Oh no. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have named my studio at all. Okay, moving on. Take it away.
Why? Is that similar to
So-
another studio that exists?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not all.
I
Nice. Cease
think
and
it's too
desist
dirty. It's just like,
coming
oh yeah,
through it.
naughty cat.
Yeah. Naughty cat. Exactly.
Yeah, naughty pussy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
I just made it
We
10
were all
times
thinking
worse.
it. We were all thinking it.
I just made it 10 times worse.
Or better.
Cut the show. It's over.
We
Josh,
can't
take it
beat
away,
that.
please.
Yeah, go.
So immediately I took what was going to be the game of the year last year 2020, but is now going to be game of the year 2021. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. You know, PS2, OG, Xbox. You had 3 films in one
GameCube.
one game. That as well. And then moving on, PS3, 360, we had 6 films in a game. Now with like PS4, PS5, and the Xbox One ecosystem, we can have 9 movies in one game. Say what you want about those movies. Lego Star Wars always just delivers. It's just hits exactly how you want it to. So had to take that right off the bat. And then all the other PlayStation Studio games were getting sucked up. So I had to take Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I love 2016.
It's going to be a good one.
And just
Yeah.
everything we've seen of that game so far, the ray tracing, the just jumping between different dimensions and different
That's great.
planets.
It'll run so
amazing.
smooth.
Absolutely. Far Cry 6, I took next, then followed by Gotham Knights, which I think is a bit of a risky bet, but I said this while we were picking. I can't praise Arkham Origins and then do WB Montreal dirty by not supporting them with Gotham Knights. I think that's it's going to be great. And then we have Housemarque's first AAA game, Returnal, and I ended off with Ghostwire Tokyo for my
So,
final pick.
You
And
squaring
then-
up in Gotham Knights?
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, we are.
Absolutely.
Dibs on Nightwing.
Damn it.
I said it first.
Shit.
I'll
It's
take,
okay. You can be Damien.
Red Hood. I'll take Red Hood.
I don't want to be Damien.
Nobody wants to be Damien. That's the joke.
I don't want to be Damien. I don't like
And
him.
then for my counter pick, because
Oh, yeah.
we've gone through everyone's list,
Yep.
I took Monster Hunter Rise. Just we got the movie coming out.
Just to really
too.
stick it to me.
Exactly. I was thinking about taking Halo Infinite, but I got that Master Chief action figure, and I was like, this looks good. I wanted to be a bit of an asshole, but I had to had a Halo Infinite Monster Energy before recording this, and I was like, I can't do it.
I hope you saved your receipt for that double XP or whatever.
Fuck, I should have.
It's not on the can. Okay, small sidebar. The double XP isn't on the can. You have to save the code is on the receipt that you buy, which you then take
Damn.
online to put in for like weapon skins or double XP or whatever it is. And it's the dumbest thing. I was like, what year is it?
Quick pause.
Put it under the tab.
Craig's not in the chat anymore.
We lost
Okay.
Craig.
Whatever.
Craig.
We can just.
I thought you did that on purpose. But there's your PSA for Halo Infinite.
Yeah. Also, audience, don't ask who Craig is.
Save your
He's dead
receipts.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
He is our gimp.
Cut it. Turn it off. I'm done. I hate it here.
Oh well. That's why we record ourselves. So.
I love it. I love it.
Exactly.
All right. So Austin, what was your counter pick?
Oh, sorry. I'm holding everyone else up. I think it was Returnal. Was my counter pick.
It was,
Yeah, Returnal.
yes.
It was, yeah.
My counter pick was Gotham Knights, just because I feel like that studio would. It's one of those games that it could be hit or miss, like making what was a single player game now into a multiplayer game, and making it kind of loot based. It's like I feel like that's a lot of stuff they're adding that could go wrong.
Right.
Oh, I think it's gonna hit. I just think.
Oh, I hope it hits. I'm just saying
Suicide
that.
Squad and Gotham Knights should have switched studios and switched to which ones of them are canon, because it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Literally, Gotham Knights makes so much sense to take place in Arkham, and then Suicide
Yeah.
Squad is so different from Arkham. Montreal doesn't have to then be compared to it. Whereas I think Gotham Knights
Right.
is going to, because not even because it's the characters, but because it's the
Because it looks like
gameplay
Arkham.
style. No,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
Yep.
not beat 'em up, but it's not a third-person shooter, it's third-person action game.
I mean, it doesn't take place in our universe, and it sure looks
That's
like
what I'm
it.
saying.
It's
They
just
should have
the
switched.
aesthetic
Oh,
of it.
for sure.
Yeah.
Montreal should have taken Suicide Squad and made it non-canon.
And then it's like
Yeah.
the game. The first thing they say about the game is like, yeah, Batman's dead, and you're like, oh, like at the end of Arkham City or
Right.
Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
And then they're
Spoilers.
like, no. They're like, no,
Yeah.
you idiot. Why would you think that? I was like, gee, I don't know.
That's like Avengers coming out and saying Cap is dead before release, you know? But there's no way
Captain
Gotham
America
Knights
is
makes
dead.
sense.
Anyway, if you pre-order, you can get this Captain America skin.
Oh. Huh.
All right.
To play for that one level, dude. God.
I bought some shit today, man. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Go off.
Speaking of that, Chris, what's your counter pick?
I picked Skatebird, which is kind of, I feel like it's probably going to end up like reviewing like middle of the road. Josh off camera was making some not so nice comments about how Skatebird's going to be better than Tony Hawk. So I just have to point out how janky it looks in all of its trailers and how shitty it's going to be. But
There's only
You know what my goal is with this game? I don't need it to score well. It could lose me points. I just want Chris to fall in love with it. I want it to become
I'm
like,
probably going to end up liking
yeah,
it.
I need it to become like
Mhm.
just a sniper.
His
hit
favorite
for
stream
Chris.
game.
Yes.
But I mean, my thoughts on it though is that it's like I don't think it's gonna get like a 9 or 10. I think it'll do fine. And so I was like, really, the worst thing that can happen is that I don't get a lot of points from it. But I'd rather take that than risk like picking something big in the hopes that it'll bomb and I end up
Yeah.
losing a ton of
Right.
points. You know?
That's a smart
Mhm.
pick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then my counter pick was Ghostwire Tokyo. I almost did Deathloop as well. I just think these two Bethesda games are going to be really interesting, but I do think that
Mhm.
there might be too much hype for them. I don't necessarily think either of them are going to be bad games. I just think if they don't live up to expectations, they will review worse than they actually are. I also think that Ghostwire Tokyo, the reason I picked it over Deathloop is that one I think is now in a tough spot where the marketing about it has changed, because it was
Oh, yeah.
originally more hoarderish and now it's a Control-esque type of game. And you had I believe she was the creative director. I do not remember her name. I do not officially remember her title. But
It's
a very important person. I know they had left the studio. There was like a disagreement on the
yep.
vision of the game. So I just think that when that happens, regardless of which style would have been better, I just think when you have that change, it's a bad sign. And that things
yeah.
go halfway both ways rather than a 100% one way.
yeah.
Exactly.
Which,
I don't need,
although I was say for me, it actually worked better for the control route because I was not going to play this game when it was all horror based. So
Yeah.
Also,
There you
yeah,
go, yeah.
control very good.
exactly,
Very good.
Still
And
need to
now
play
I'm
it.
kind of thinking,
it's so
you know,
good.
we've
It's on
lost,
Game
what,
Pass.
three creative directors on Halo Infinite. Maybe I should have taken that. As
Yeah, but we got Joseph Staten now.
That name doesn't.
Now
mean
that
anything.
changes everything.
Joseph
He
Staten.
worked on the originals. He was a,
do
he
wanna
was,
say
he
real
was a
quick.
he was a big part of 2 and 3,
Yeah.
man. It's a good thing.
Okay.
Mine was Returnal. I didn't really go too in depth on it, but I think Returnal is, in my mind, that's going to be like Days Gone, where there's a lot of wasted potential there. It's either going to be an 8 or it's either going to be an 8 like highest, or it's going to just the anticipation. The ambition for that game. It's going to be higher than what they can like actually make reality
Deliver.
for that game. Yes, thank you.
We'll find-
I'm stupid, but yeah.
We'll find out March 19th. That game is
Yeah,
like right
it's
It's
like
close.
the
Soon, yeah.
fourth most recent
Yeah.
game on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really close.
All right.
It's also one of those things where like I'll be happy if I'm wrong. Like I want that game to be
for
good.
sure.
Like I want that to be like
Oh,
a
yeah.
9. But yeah, I can see it not being. So.
Hey, Josh, anything you want to say? Or I guess you did talk about Rise a little bit. But if you anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I don't have much of a stake in the Monster Hunter universe. Is this one Switch exclusive? Like, is this only on the
Yes.
Switch?
It's only on the Switch.
And then story base, yeah, because I still have yet. We did the ranking of the PlayStation Plus collection. You can see that on YouTube.
Mhm.
But still have yet to play Monster Hunter World because I'm waiting for the movie to come out before I download it. But we'll see.
That'll be the one
Alright.
to sway you, right?
Exactly.
All right. Well, before we go into the second part, which is just going to be a general discussion of our anticipated games, I just wanted to remind everybody watching and listening that we are now on all audio podcast services, or most major ones. Just go to anchor.fm/Waypoint Podcast. You can go to all of our different audio podcasts. So we're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. We are on Pocket Casts,
Go off.
Overcast, and then Anchor, obviously, and then Radio Republic, I think it is.
Radiocast, Radiocast,
Yeah.
Radio Shack. We're at it
Yep.
all.
So
Okay.
you can go sub to us over there, and then if you're listening to us on audio, we thank you very much. We also are on YouTube, so you can come see our beautiful faces, talk to you about whatever we're talking about.
Yeah, come join us.
If you're audio only, if you're an audio only listener, you don't see my fresh cut. So you got to come to watch YouTube.
You got to come on
You
YouTube.
gotta go look
Yeah.
at it. You gotta go look at it.
Yeah.
Also, to address
Why-
your your concern there, Josh, is I don't think we're allowed to be on SoundCloud without one of us getting a face tattoo. So I mean, which one of you guys wants to do
Oh,
it?
right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the Post Malone stan. You go off.
Fuck.
Post Malone.
You
Shit.
kind of walk into that one, Chris.
Yeah, you shine your
Turn that
sword.
around.
I'll do it.
Dog.
I'll do it, you bitches.
How about this?
Bet.
Loser of the Fantasy Critic gets a face tattoo that the other four decide on.
No.
No, sorry.
I'm
No.
in.
Yeah.
Fine, they have to get a
Yeah,
face
I-
tattoo. They decide on it.
I'm even more in.
He's getting the Waypoint logo right on his
Right in the forehead. Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, like it's a bullseye.
No, a
You
QR
know,
code
if
that
you
just
get, like,
sends
a-
them to our YouTube.
Yeah,
Yes.
say QR code.
Good. That's good. If you get like a brand like McDonald's or like Burger King tattooed on your body where people can
Yeah,
see
you
it, you
could.
can actually make money with that.
Well, what might actually be like?
Fuck.
I'm sorry, this one isn't kind of a joke, but I mean, it's like instead of the teardrop, it's the waypoint.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You know,
yeah.
like right there, that would
Yeah.
actually look kind of sick.
Every
Yeah.
1,000 subscribers is another one.
If I had to, there you go. You can add to it.
Yeah.
If I had to just pick any one of them, though, I would do Cara Dune's like Rebellion Shock Trooper tattoo.
Oh, yeah,
That looks
yeah,
dope
yeah.
as hell.
Cool. That's cool.
Either that, or if I had to get the Post Malone one, it would be the barbed wire across my forehead. or the cherry blossoms on the side. I like that one a lot.
That's a good one.
Yeah. All right. So now back to our anticipated games. Was there any games that wasn't talked about in the draft that you guys are looking forward to? Oh, Austin.
Who picked me?
Austin.
Little Nightmares 2. Little Nightmares
Okay,
2
okay.
is going to be a game that I think is overlooked. I absolutely adored the first Little Nightmares. It was actually the first game I played on my original YouTube channel. First Let's Play I ever did was Little Nightmares, so that holds a special place for me in my heart. And the game is like slept on. It's a really good game. It's kind of hard to explain it. It's like horror through the eyes of a child.
It's scary and you're small.
Yeah, but what they're going for that's actually a really good way to put it, because you can't fight off enemies. You're just running away. You have to kind of trial and error it until like you're going to feel uneasy.
But it's also like a platformer.
Yes, it's a platformer where you just get from point A to point B. I think it's always from the side. I don't think it's ever top down.
No,
but
there's puzzles and stuff, but it's like trying to panic to a puzzle while this literal giant thing is coming after you. It's unsettling.
Those giant things are grossly cool to look at. Like aesthetically, they just nail it. Like I have a poster somewhere of like these two meat goblins with chef's hats on, and they're absolute atrocities. But I love to look at them because the art is just great. I love it.
It's very Tim Burton-esque. In a lot of ways.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
It's a fun game.
So Little Nightmares 2 is what I'm going to bring up. If you haven't played Little Nightmares, play it. It's probably super cheap now. So
I think it's on Game Pass.
I'm looking like
what
right
is
now.
If it is, that's great.
What's actually announced versus what's rumored, and if this one's been rumored a little bit, I think even officially teased, so hopefully comes out. A Last of Us multiplayer.
Oh yeah.
Because when it originally got delayed the first time, they were like, "Listen, our multiplayer thing is evolved into its own thing." And then this last year, basically 2020 when they did Last of Us Day, which used to be called Outbreak Day, they said that you will be hearing from them soon, or something along those lines. So I do think they have something in the works. We also do know Naughty Dog's working on a new IP. I don't think that would come out this year. I could see being announced this year.
It would not come out this year.
No, it come out.
And after they're big now.
Yeah. So I truly think that we're getting a Last of Us multiplayer that's going to be its own game.
I can see that. Yeah.
I would love that.
I don't know if it's just going to be fun. I would honestly like it to world build. Like I don't necessarily need it to have a plot. I don't necessarily need it to take away from Ellie's story. But I would like if it gave us some world building into what happened within those 25 years in other places and stuff.
Honestly, if they just remade the multiplayer from the first game with more maps, I would buy it. I would buy it anyway because the Last of Us multiplayer was genius.
Never played it.
I didn't play
more maps, more factions.
It was similar to the Uncharted one in a way.
No.
No, this one
it has none of your typical multiplayer modes in it. Like it's hard to describe, but I mean, yeah, you would play in factions. Like your performance would kind of like push between the war between all three of them. But it's also you would go in there and you would fight other players, but you're also like scavenging for supplies and building things. It's like these really huge like open maps, and it was really really unique and kind of hard to describe.
Yeah, you did. You're like the leader of a camp, basically, and you're going in to the multiplayer match as the representative, and like you pick up supplies, and the better you do, the better your camp is. But if you like start tanking in a couple of games, you're gonna notice that like Susan is sick, and it will give you like these updates, like post match, like what's going on in your camp, and it was awesome, and I think that's the great way to build the world. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it'd be cool. I'm really looking forward to like if that is what it is. Like I'm very excited to play that with the newer combat system that we got in part 2, because the combat in part 2 is
right.
I'd love to see them add a asymmetrical multiplayer. Like let me play as a clicker.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
Yeah,
that's good.
Like going along with the faction.
What Evolve should have been. Oh, sorry. No, I just wasn't what Evolve should have been.
Yeah.
Plays the Rat King.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was just gonna say, like, you're talking about building the camp and all that. you could almost take like that winter camp, the base that they're at, kind of make that like the camp based function in the game.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean that's what I thought of like when I first loaded into the game, like they're the base that they have in like Wyoming or whatever.
Yeah.
Jackson.
I was like sorry Jackson.
Jackson.
Okay.
Yep.
I was just sitting there. I was like, this is kind of like Lesbos multiplayer. I was sitting
Mhm.
there, I was like, yeah. I wonder where they got this idea from.
I guess I'll just talk some of the indie games that I'm kind of looking forward to.
Yeah.
Got
Fire 'em up.
Season. That one just looks
Season looks so good.
So good. No,
Oh my god, I'm so excited for that
next to
game.
nothing on it, but it looks so good.
Okay, as you ride around on a bike, you take pictures and stuff. It's gorgeous.
Right.
I'm there.
Yes,
I'm in.
Great film camera, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. Then we got 1 second.
Bro, she was screaming.
Yeah.
Let me in.
Yeah, another reason you should watch the video is pet control.
I
You gotta-
know.
Oh yeah, all the time.
You get my dog barking at my wife because she's trying to come inside the door, and then Al's
Exactly.
cat screaming at him to let her in.
Yep. But, yeah. So Austin, just to let you know, I just said season. I'm going through a few indie games I'm looking forward to. Then another one, Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition. So that one, it's coming to consoles, but I already have the PC version. So I'm guessing if they're gonna do one of those, like if you have the PC version, it'll be like a free upgrade, because they're adding more endings to it too, from the original game. So I'm really looking forward to that. Lake was another one, the mail delivery game. That looks like just the nice, like chill, zone out kind of game.
Yeah, man, I love those.
Probably the other one. Oh no, I got two more. Sorry, It Takes Two. That one looks really good.
Where that one?
Fuck
and then,
the Oscars.
Yeah, and then I'm kind of surprised nobody kind of brought this one up, but Solar Ash, the kind of follow up to Hyper Light Drifter.
Oh right.
That one did look cool.
Okay.
I never
I
played
forgot
Hyper
that
Light.
was.
Yeah, so those are just a few.
I do have one more, if I can mention that real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Dying Light 2. I don't know if that's necessarily coming out this year. But I think it will be, because I think it got delayed like twice.
Wasn't
I'm
it
not sure.
indefinitely delayed, the last one?
Yeah, it was.
Something like that. Yeah. I played the original Dying Light way after it came out, and I picked it up for like $10 or something, and I was like, this will be a good time waster, and I ended up loving that game.
Nice.
They don't do anything like super amazing, but everything they go for, they do it well enough, like the parkour and the zombie combat and the feeling you get when you're being chased by a bunch of them, and maneuvering through the landscapes and the level design. Everything they aim for it to accomplish, they get that done.
I would
don't
actually
think there's a fault in the game
they do the traversal very, very well. Like it's a game that feels good to run around in. The combat, I mean, it's an RPG, so for some people, like a real time RPG, it's kind of hit or miss for some people I know. But I mean, it's made by the same people that made Dead Island, and I think which I loved. I love the Dead. I love Dead Island, and I think they it's like you can see how Dead Island walked so that Dying Light could run literally and climb. And that was it's so funny that you said that you got it like super, super late. That was actually one of the first games that I picked up on PS4. I got it pretty close near its release, because I was actually at like a retro game store at the time, and he had managed to get like a copy, and like apparently somebody didn't like it like a week after it came out or something, and they traded it in at this store. But I was in there just kind of looking around, and I was like, oh cool, this guy's got some PS4 games. And he's like, dude, have you heard of this game? I was like, no, I haven't. And he's like, you gotta play this game. And I was like, all right, you're selling me, I'm in. And then I took it home. I immediately regretted. I was like, oh my god, why did I buy this game? Like, just spend like $40 on this game that I've never even heard of. And then I put it in, and I mean, I was just killing zombies as Troy Baker character number 84 or whatever, and it was a good time.
And the story is actually well done too. Like it could have been just another Walking Dead plotline type of thing, but it wasn't. It was actually
really
yeah, I
interesting.
wouldn't say it was amazing, but again, more than serviceable. And I
Yeah.
agree with what you said on like the movement and all that. I just think parkour in video games hasn't been perfected yet. I think the first Heavy Rain got it pretty good. I still don't think parkour in video games is like top notch yet. So I just think any game that has parkour, it's not knocked down a peg. I just think they're kind of asking for a little bit of like slack. I don't know.
Did you say the first
So
Heavy
when it
Rain?
comes, I like parkour.
Yeah, yeah.
The first Heavy Rain.
Oh, I meant
Mirror's Edge.
Heavy Rain.
Is that what-
What is it? Where's
Mirror's
Edge? Thank you. I don't know why I said Heavy Rain.
Where's that Heavy Rain? Jason!
I'm just like, I didn't play Heavy Rain, so I'm like,
Yeah, I meant
okay, there must be some
I don't
weird
know.
thing I've never heard of
I was
it.
sitting there, I was like, was there a parkour part in Heavy Rain that I didn't get? I was like, hold on.
Totally meant.
I was just gonna
Mirror's
let that
Edge. Thank you
slide.
so much.
I would have been with you. Listen, I was nodding along. I was like, yeah. I've never played Heavy Rain.
Same,
I was trying
same.
to remember what happens in Heavy Rain. I was like,
Yeah.
did I choose a path that I didn't get in parkour?
No,
You have me on blast right now. Come on.
I was like,
I think parkour in video games, like the reason Mirror's Edge did it so well is because that was the whole gist of the game.
Yeah.
It hasn't been perfected when that's more of a feature rather than the point of the game.
Mirror's Edge was also the first one I can think of they did parkour in first person.
Yeah.
yeah, which I think
Brink
Because
do it?
Assassin's Creed was being like parkour, look at us, look how cool we are, and then Mirror's Edge was like parkour first person.
Here's the thing. Brink was a little bit of a weird game that people like to make fun of. I had it. I enjoyed it at the time because I didn't know how to look at games
I
critically.
liked it.
But I do remember seeing an article that was just like, listen, Brink, I would argue, was ahead of, that's the person writing it was like, I would argue Brink was actually ahead of its time, and that's why it didn't do good, because the ideas it had,
I think that's the general
I agree.
consensus. Yeah.
yeah, because like the ideas it had have been evolved since, like the free running with guns, the different weight classes, I think.
Mhm.
Totally agree.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm done with Dying Light.
So I've got a couple games that I wanted to point
Go
out.
ahead.
And I mean, I think obviously we're trying to not or to talk about games that we didn't already have on our draft, and so I mean, it's like a lot of the games that I drafted, I'm very much looking forward to. God of War. I mean, there's Resident Evil, there's Horizon, there's Final Fantasy, Party Animals. It's like all of these games I really want to play, and so I kind of had to dig a little deeper through the list of releases because I was like, man, most of the games I want to play we've already mentioned. But I did want to give a big shout out to the next Forza Horizon game. I know that there's a lot of them. I think this is 5 I think that's coming out. But it's like, you know what? I fucking love the Forza Horizon games. They kill it every single year. Or every single other year or whatever.
I was just gonna say one thing though, because I think it's gonna be a Motorsports that's releasing next, not a Horizon.
Didn't Motorsport just come out?
No, that
I thought I
still
saw
don't come
Horizon
out.
on the upcoming list when we were looking through it earlier.
I mean, it could be unannounced, but
Well,
yeah,
damn.
the one that's been announced
if
is
it's
a
If it's a
Motorsports.
Motorsport this year, then I'm less interested. But if it is Horizon this year, I'm very interested because I like that
for sure,
arcade.
yeah.
I like the arcade style
Right there with
driving.
you.
They always do a fantastic job like designing the open worlds around like
And 4 looks so
like
good.
Romeo's area.
All right.
4 is gorgeous.
According to Fantasy Critic, Motorsport is announced without a release date. Horizon is unannounced but rumored. Well, they don't write rumored in there, but I assume if they have unannounced
Right,
in
yeah.
parentheses, it's at
All
least
right, well
something
maybe
rumored.
Forza Horizon. If it comes out next year, it comes out next year, and I'll still be excited for it because I like the
Yeah.
Horizon games.
Regardless,
They do Need for Speed better than Need for Speed ever did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that's the best way I can sell it. The other one that I was going to bring up, I've already forgotten. What the hell was it?
I let my dogs in. I'll be right back.
Who let the dogs out?
I suppose we can cut this and I can go look through that list again real fast.
Yeah, that's fine.
I was looking while we were talking. That's why my lighting keeps changing.
Yeah, no worries.
Fair enough.
I made a list on GG this morning of just all the games, looking through.
Right. One that I'm pretty excited for that I just saw like a little rumor thing, but I could see it being true, is Battlefield 6 being set
Oh yeah.
as a modern day shooter. And yeah, I like the Battlefield games, but like we've gone so futuristic with like Call of Duty And then we went so far back to the past that I've been just craving a good like contemporary shooter, and Modern Warfare 2019 definitely delivered on that. And so
Oh.
I'm excited to see Battlefield go back to that and just having
Mhm.
Yeah.
shooting tanks up into the air with C4 to blast the plane.
Yeah,
of the
man.
sound.
Battlefield 3 and 4 were so good.
Yeah.
Like they were
Absolutely.
excellent. Even though Battlefield 1 is my favorite in the series, like I really enjoyed the hell out of 3.
Same here.
I didn't play a ton of 4, but what I did play, I really liked too.
I remember people
Absolutely.
loving Bad Company too. I wanted to. And I
Bad
used to
Company
wanna
2 was
get
so
into that.
damn good. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great game.
Never played, but I've heard really good things about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's incredible. It's
Mhm.
incredible. One of the best like
And-
first person shooter stories that are available in video games. Like, oh,
Yeah.
it's just amazing. So I remembered I remembered what else I had going, and it's I'm hitting the rumor mill apparently for my for my most release game, because it hasn't been announced yet. There's just rumors so far, but there are lots and lots of signs that we're getting a new Street Fighter this year,
Ooh.
which is a series that is very near and dear to my heart. I'm a huge fighting game
Mhm.
fan. Street Fighter is one of the series that got me into the genre as a whole. My boy Akuma, it's like I'm probably gonna get tattooed on me at some point. Like that's how much I fucking love these games.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's like I know a lot of people. Street Fighter V wasn't as well received when it first came out because they had a really fucked up launch. It was basically you could play online and that was it. A fighting game that launched without an arcade mode.
Oh no.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
That's rough, yeah.
It was bad. But they really in much the same way that Mortal Kombat X like really kind of shook up the way that those games are played. Street Fighter V did the same thing, and kind of adjusted the way that Street Fighter plays without losing too much of what makes Street Fighter Street Fighter. It's just made it a little more accessible, and I really like that. And so I'm excited to see how they build off of 5 in the potential 6 if that comes out this year. If it doesn't, then I mean I don't fucking know. I'm partially looking forward to Hogwarts Legacy. I've got that whole thing of I super give J.K. Rowling money, but I think the game is good.
I was gonna bring that one up, and it's a tough spot to be in, and I'm not gonna fault anyone for either decision they make.
Right.
Because it's one of those things where I 100% get not wanting to support the game, but I also understand people that are like, I don't want to harm the developers who might not
Mhm.
agree with it, that have been working on it from before we knew her true feelings
Yeah.
on this topic and all this other stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah, because the game got leaked like way before
Oh,
all
it was
this.
yeah.
not leaked. I remember it got
like
leaked my
20
senior
years
year in
ago.
college. Yeah, like 2018,
Years
2017.
ago, it got leaked.
And that was, I think, before, I don't know if it's before she said anything or before it got to the point where she is now.
yeah,
So,
That's the
way
point.
before.
yeah, so,
'Cause she's been pretty off the rails for a while.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
it wasn't like turfy stuff. It was just she kept adding stupid shit to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that stuff's fine. I meant the turf stuff more.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to fault anyone for either decision they make. I'm doing the route of I'm going to wait to find it pre-owned at GameStop, so that way the money goes to them rather than
The
her.
GameStop.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Oh,
I've got
I
I've got all digital stuff, so I unfortunately will
Yeah.
have to. But at the same time, I'm looking at it, the money's going to the devs. You know, it's going to them. I mean, yes,
Yeah,
Harry
yeah.
Potter, she will be getting some, but I'm thinking more of the
Yeah.
devs. I'm thinking more of the devs. Just
I've seen some people say so. It's like, well, it's like we're thinking about getting the game, but also donating the same amount to a
yeah,
to a pro LGBTQ charity
Yeah.
or something along those lines.
Yeah,
And,
that's not a
it's
bad idea.
and it's like I've also seen some people that are angry. It's like, yeah, but Rowling still gets the money. It's like I'm with Jordan. It's like I'm not going to fault you for either decision.
yep.
I think they're both valid and
I also understand, like, as a Harry Potter fan myself, I understand what that franchise means to a lot of people and how conflicted people are with her versus it. Especially, I think the most fucked up part about it all is, and this is painting with a broad brush, so forgive me here, but there are a lot of LGBT people that found a kind of a home within that community. Because for a while, that was a more, when you talk about fandoms, broader stuff, you become more accepting as a society.
What's
But-
strange about the whole issue is that it's that the series Harry Potter was surprisingly inclusionary,
Yeah,
but the author was not. It's like it's
that's
so strange.
That is very strange.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think that's also why none of us bet on it, because it could really go either way. People might
Yeah.
review bother the game, the people might not straight up buy the game, or people might say, "Listen, it's bad. Like it's still Harry Potter at the end of the day. It's still going to perform well. It's going to sell well, etc."
That's my thought, is that
Yeah.
it's still gonna sell well, but I just don't know about
I don't know if it's gonna
reviews.
review
Yes,
well.
sell versus review. Yeah, because it is one of those things too. I think right now, if you ask somebody that,
But it's
doesn't
like
have
if you remove all of Rowling's turf bullshit, I'm very excited at the concept of the game. I think
Yeah.
the idea of an open world RPG within the Harry Potter universe is such a slam dunk that it's like
Right.
I'm surprised it took
Oh.
this long to make.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Same, exactly. Yep.
It's gonna
you know, because there's so
look
many
good.
possibilities, especially because they're setting it before even the first. So it's even before Fantastic
It's
Beasts
like
time.
in the
It's
1800s.
1800s,
Yeah.
which basically when their technology stopped anyway, so you're not really
is
missing out on
perfect,
anything. And yeah, because I think if you had set it in like if you set it between Fantastic Beasts and Harry Potter, you would then have to run into those characters. You set it right before or around Fantastic Beasts, obviously those characters are gonna make
Yeah,
appearance.
you find
Mhm.
McGonagall and
Right.
Dumbledore.
Yeah, after Harry Potter, you're like, oh, well, how come none of the teachers here? So now it's just like basically same world, completely different
Yeah,
connections.
you don't have to worry about leading into any of that. It's just like, hey, go have fun.
Just some
And
basic
I think
lore
it's
stuff.
brilliant. Yeah.
Like they had to
And the
take
gameplay that
into
we've
account.
seen is gorgeous. Those particle effects, man. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my games.
Yeah.
Is
Um,
there anything y'all would like to see announced, or anything y'all are anticipating to get announced?
I feel like that was my whole list.
I mean, there was one you were talking about
There
off
are two
screen.
games I remembered.
Knack 3?
Hey, what?
No, Chris.
that what we're
There's
talking
there's a game that you would like to see announced this year, right?
Fallen?
I know. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Fallen Order
Oh,
2.
yeah.
I'll say it, fine. I'll take it from you.
It's like I get the feeling that we're probably going to see an announcement. I don't think it's going to be this year. I think it'll probably come out next year.
Yeah, but you
Oh,
want to see
yeah,
it
for
announced
sure.
this year.
But I would love to
Mhm.
see Fallen Order 2 announced this year because that was my favorite game in
Mhm.
2019. I think it's one of the best Star Wars
Mhm.
games that's ever been made. I
Right.
think it's a fantastic way to get into that Souls-like style of game too because it's difficult, but not crushingly.
Mhm.
Unless you play it on Grandmaster, which made me want to die. But I did it. I beat it. What's up?
Started the stream, beat it within 3 tries.
I was not ready for it. All I needed was that refresh. That was before Dying Tour. That was
Like,
a
what,
day
20
after
times?
Dying Tour 23 times. Yes. Um,
That fight,
but-
man, that fight made me peg it down just because I wanted to.
Yeah,
Like, I love
same.
the game, but I was just getting to the point where I was like, I need to see the end of this.
The
So it's
first
just
time
like,
I played
fuck
the
it.
game, I played on Jedi Master difficulty, and I had to drop it down to Jedi Knight because I spent an hour fighting that last boss.
Yeah, I was playing
Mhm.
on night and I dropped it down to, I think, Padawan.
But yeah, it's a fantastic game from start to finish. It's a little
Yep.
rough around the edges, but I'm confident that they can kind of iron out some of that stuff with a sequel.
Easily,
Now that
yeah.
they're familiar with the engine, they probably have more dev time on it.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, it's just it deserves a sequel. I know they've already said it. We're getting one. I think we're probably going to see it sometime this year, and then it'll probably come out next year.
What would
But I
you
mean,
wanna
hey,
see from it?
if they're like, hey, December 2021, I might shit my pants. You know, but
Yeah.
I'd be okay with it. I would draft it, and I would kill any one of you who drafts it before I do.
Well, listen,
Just
man,
drop
you're
all
either
our
gonna have to
budget on it.
deal with those. You're either gonna have to deal with those shitty pants for a little bit to get on that quickly.
I will do what I will, whatever it takes.
But what would you want to see from a sequel? Like in terms of story or just gameplay mechanics being bigger?
I mean, just do it bigger, honestly.
Yeah.
I would just mechanically, I would like to see maybe get some more like populated worlds because most of that game took place in pretty remote places.
Secluded.
That's
which
what I
was
was gonna
fine,
say.
and I think they
Yeah.
should. I definitely think there should be more of that because you get kind of an Uncharted vibe, like going through ancient tombs and that sort of thing. And I think that kind of fits that game really, really well.
Yeah.
But I would like to see maybe even more of a gameplay mechanic where, hey, the Empire is after you, and they're occasionally it's like you'll have to like Assassin's Creed it and like try and blend into a crowd or avoid being noticed.
That'd
Like
be
you can't
cool.
use your lightsaber because then they'll be all
Yeah.
over you. And I think that would be really, really neat.
I was gonna say I would like one central planet or city to be fully open world.
That
Like
would
I'm
be-
talking GTA style, Mafia style, whatever you want to call it.
Get on a
I'm not gonna say
speeder.
Cyberpunk style because I don't want to curse it, but I just want one central place like that where you get to go around and you know what, even throw in more RPG elements. Like let me buy stuff from shopkeepers, but then make every other planet.
Mhm.
You know, I can't expect every planet to be fully open world, So the other planets can just be kind of like those set paths that are very Uncharted-like.
So have like an open hub
Right.
world, but then
Yeah.
but then yeah, when you go to other planets, it's like how the first game is, where it's like, hey, you have this path
Yeah.
that you go
Mhm.
through, and it's you go to a
Right.
tomb, you come back, maybe there's like a couple side things you can go off and do. I think that's a pretty good
That'd be
idea.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be down with
And
that.
use-
Not
Sticking-
Coruscant. Make it oh, why can't I remember that? Make it Nar Shaddaa. They
Mhm.
name dropped. They name dropped in the first game. Let's go to Nar Shaddaa. I fucking want to see it in canon.
Do
Do
it.
it, you cowards.
Do that and then go to Jeddah from hit movie Rogue One.
Oh,
That would be
Yeah.
cool. That would be cool.
it's so cool.
Straight up.
Yeah, Jeddah
Yeah,
would be
because
cool.
that
I'd be
wouldn't
here
have
for it.
been destroyed yet, technically.
No, yeah.
Exactly.
And
go-
Saw
we could go-
Gerrera makes an appearance in the game.
We could go see
the
the
first
temple.
one.
Right?
Oh yeah. Go see
Yeah.
Saw. Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
was the one movie character. I was like, oh shit, Saw Gerrera's on my windshield.
Well, you also have
Exactly.
the
Forrest Whitaker himself.
you also have the K2 series of droids as enemies throughout
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then
Exactly.
I thought
KX, excuse me.
one thing that would be cool too, like in that hub world, like you could buy like kind of like pieces of like scrap or junk, and then you could like use that to upgrade your lightsaber.
That'd be rad.
Just
Yeah.
kind of like, since
That'd be
you
good.
can't, you're not, you found a bunch of lightsaber pieces in the first one, but you need to upgrade it to get better, and you just gotta be crafty with it.
I like
Yeah,
that.
that's some real like Knights of the Old Republic 2 shit. I like that.
Mhm.
I'm down with that.
Sticking in the same realm of Respawn, I would lose it if Titanfall 3.
Yes.
That was a
Yeah,
thing.
dude.
That's
I
a
think
ballsy one.
Seeing
there-
people play Apex
rumors
just
already,
makes me so sad.
Just add wall running to Apex. Come on.
No, they're not pilots.
That's true. That's true.
They're not pilots.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if they were to add a pilot to Apex Legends, just like canonically, the pilot would wreck their shit.
Oh yeah.
like,
Be running up all over the place.
it wouldn't be fair.
Exactly.
But yeah,
But,
Titanfall
like,
3
I
would
was-
be incredible.
His ultimate would be calling a Titan down.
Bring t-
Ooh. That actually might make me play Apex for once.
Apex is so
Play
good.
it. It's so good.
That's fun, dude.
But I was thinking about it in my head, and I was like, "Damn, it's been 5 years since Titanfall 2."
And they
that's-
screwed Titanfall 2.
Exactly. And so I
But it-
just,
Between Call of Duty and Battlefield.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like literally that week between them. Like, come on, EA.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, they shafted it, and it was the best one of those 3 games.
Oh yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because I think that was what Infinite Warfare was the Call of Duty that year.
It was Infinite Warfare and Battlefield 1, which I love Battlefield 1, but Titanfall 2 was just ugh.
Well, the
So
thing
good.
is, because you could run or wall run in Infinite Warfare, and it was just so slow. Like,
Infinite Warfare was very futuristic.
Absolutely.
yeah, but it's like
Yeah.
Titanfall 2 is futuristic too, and they
Yeah.
made the
Look,
wall
that's what
running
I'm saying.
just
I'm saying,
feel.
listen, Infinite Warfare. I haven't played either of these games, but like I know Infinite Warfare was like one of the worst Call of Duty games. And I
Josh,
think, I think just it's a name recognition thing.
Mhm.
So it's like,
Well, was it
had they
Advanced Warfare?
separated it.
Was it
No,
Advanced
Warfare was like 2014.
Advanced Warfare was
Yeah.
long before that.
Okay,
Yeah. Advanced
okay.
Warfare came out around the same time as the first Titanfall.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause they were
Yeah.
both launch titles, not launch titles, but they both came out the first year of PS4, Xbox One.
But I just remember, yeah, it was just the wall running in Call of Duty after playing Titanfall 2 so much.
Yeah.
Just felt
It's so
so
smooth.
slow and
Black Ops
clunky.
3 had the wall running too, right? Because it had like the kind of mech
Yeah.
people.
And it did it better than Advanced Warfare, but it wasn't on the same level as Titanfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was just so
exactly.
quick how you could go from wall running to sliding, and
Yeah,
I will
moving in that
say
game is-
I will say this too. Apex has the best slide in a video game.
It's because they have the Titanfall slide. It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
The best slide ever. Like, man, every time like I'm playing Cold War, it's like I just want to slide and like slide forever. It's like, come on,
Also, Titanfall 2 actually made the Mozambique a good gun, and then Apex
you're
ruined
not
it.
wrong. Yeah,
Mhm.
Mozambique here.
Mozambique, yeah.
So, a game that I'm not personally anticipating or looking forward to, but I kind of want to see what happens with it. Is Destruction All Stars. You know,
Oh,
it's supposed
yeah.
to be a PS5 launch title. They're like, listen, we can't get it done
Oh,
in time, but we will be the PlayStation Plus game for February. A lot of people are saying that might have been the best thing for it.
Oh, for
I
sure.
agree.
Because, you know, PS5 comes out, you're dealing with,
agree.
you know, you're dealing with Miles, you're dealing with Sackboy, which are the PlayStation exclusive. Then you're dealing with the third-party ones that launched, Watch Dogs,
Mhm.
Assassin's Creed. So I'm really excited to see, like, is this going to be a Fall Guys moment where everyone plays it for a hot minute? Is it going to be more like Rocket League, where like a competitive scene that's like kind
I
of
could see
strong
that.
behind it comes out? You know, like,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm excited for it because I'm hoping it doesn't end up like a Rocket Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rocket Arena is fun, and I'm upset that nobody played it.
I still have to play it.
They
I was
kept
when
giving
I
away
got
for
it this
free.
month. I played Worms Rumble. Yeah, no, I have it, but I was like,
I
no, I'm gonna
paid
play Worms Rumble instead.
Worms Rumble's
Mm.
fun.
It
Worms
is.
Rumble is good, but I paid for Rocket Arena, and it's super super fun. But there's fucking nobody
Mhm.
online in that game.
Also, I don't think
Yeah.
I will highly doubt that this comes out this year, but I want to see more of it this year. Starfield.
that was gonna be one of the
I need to see
mine,
something
yeah.
from that game.
I feel like we get maybe a closer, maybe not a like locked in date, but like winter 20 something, you know, like it's a timeline.
Yeah, spring 2022, winter 2022, or
Yeah.
even 20. If they just wrote 2023, it'll be like put it in a place in my head.
Exactly.
Like, that's when.
Yeah.
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 Right there with you.
I
I just
know.
wanna
Want
see
to
it.
shout out games.
I
wanna
like
shout out
Bethesda
games.
RPGs, but I want to be in sci-fi. I don't necessarily want to be in a weird mixture of
Mhm.
future and past. I don't necessarily want to be in high fantasy.
Mhm.
I know this one's on my
Any more,
anticipated.
Jordan? Or
What was that?
do you have any more games? Okay, I just want to jump in real quick.
No,
go ahead,
not
yeah.
that I can think of.
Um,
I'm still looking through a list. I'm excited to see what gets announced.
Okay. I just want to shout out too real quick. Hellblade, the sequel to Hellblade
Oh yeah.
is up
Ooh,
there for me. That game always starts a conversation that's worth talking about with like mental health and just that psychological the impact that has on people, I guess. So it was a discussion having and do it is super unique in that audio. I think it's like binaural or something. I don't remember what the word is, but the audio all the way around. They perfected
Yeah.
that. It was so good.
Yeah.
And then there's that werewolf game. And I'm
Resident
just happy that there's a I'm just happy that there's a
Order
werewolf game coming
1887.
out called it's called Werewolf the Apocalypse. I think
I don't
it
know. Heard
was
this game.
announced
Mm.
it was announced during whatever this year's E3 was. It wasn't the Game Awards, but it was something earlier in the
Mhm.
year. Maybe last year. But yeah, it's just it's a game based around combat with werewolves. And I'm just
I'm not
happy
even
that
gonna.
that
I'm about to ask a legitimate question. It's gonna come off as a joke, but like, is this the same people who made the vampire games? Like now they're just doing, oh, we're gonna do werewolves?
no idea.
Because like the way the title was, kind of sounded the same.
You're totally right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vampire the
it?
Masquerade.
Is it
You
it?
said this. I don't know. I'm gonna
I
have
haven't
to-
looked it up.
Well, Masquerade, that's a
Okay.
different game entirely from the vampire games.
uh,
Yeah, while you're looking that up, I just wanted to I don't say it's on my anticipated games list, but I don't know if I'm actually going to be playing it. I'm just kind of like looking forward to seeing how things shake out with it. Is Crimson Desert, just because
I was
that
about to bring
Game
that one up.
Game Awards trailer really got me excited for that one. But
The
then
trailer,
we,
trailer looks really, really good, but it's also like this.
I was-
It's coming out of this Chinese studio that apparently just cranks out MMOs, and I'm like,
yeah, we talked about that during the our Game Awards episode, and that's kind of what made me think like, okay, maybe this will be one of those like wait and see kind of a game. Like,
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
combat was dope though. A high
Yeah.
fantasy game where you can suplex people, I am in. You know?
and fly dragons, like, come on.
Yeah, too cool.
all right, so they are not the same. Vampire the Masquerade, Vampire, Werewolf the Apocalypse. All three of them are different things.
Yep.
Okay.
And quick shout out to Kina's
Indeed.
Bridge of Spirits.
They
Yeah.
made Call of Cthulhu.
Oh,
There's another one, Styx, that game on PS3 that I didn't play.
Call of Cthulhu, I think is like pretty. It's kind of like a pretty like popular and like a cult kind of way.
Right,
Like
yeah.
it's the people that play it like it. Yeah.
Yeah, the Cthulhu cult.
I didn't think about that, but I mean, yeah, you got me there.
All right. Any other last minute games you guys want to talk about?
Halo Infinite. No, I'm just kidding.
That's fine.
Please, dear God, please be good.
I'm
That's-
going to ask this right now to put us on the spot. Do we want to do a bet when it comes to this Fantasy Critic?
I'm not losing
it
more
just-
money again.
would love to do a bet.
Don't worry, you don't have
guys.
to lose until
Come on,
next
we
year,
bet.
Chris.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I'm down with a bet. Whoever wins,
Yeah.
throw another $5 in.
$5 and it's just a pool for 20.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
$20 in bragging rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But I just want to quick say, I don't know, I mentioned it in the draft that I couldn't draft it, but Persona 5 Strikers, like
Yeah.
that game, it's like a Muso style game. I don't think it's by Muso though. I think it's a different studio, but
Yeah.
it's that same style of gameplay. But the biggest thing I'm excited for is that it's a continuation of the Persona 5 story. So it's furthering along the bonds that you already made with those characters.
I have one more small one that I want to. Or I mean, it's not a small one, but I mean, it's like we don't have to talk about it very long. Yeah, again, because it's unannounced. It's just rumored right now, but there is a rumor that we could be getting another Super Mario Strikers this year. Because using Strikers reminded me of that, which I don't even like soccer, but Mario Strikers, that shit was hot.
Where's Mario Golf?
I don't care about Mario Golf anymore. We had too many of them.
What?
Give me strikers. I love Mario Golf. We need strikers. It's been too long.
You're right. You are right.
We need it, he says. We need it.
They've just been cranking out Mario Tennis, and it's like those games are okay.
They haven't been though. Like
The Switch
tennis,
one was fine.
Yeah, I heard bad things
And
about it.
then
I
the
haven't
Wii
played
U one
Strikers
was
or Golf or Aces, but I heard bad things about the
god-awful.
Switch Aces.
Strikers, excellent.
Exactly.
That game, we need a new one.
And
or
not like a
also,
sports mix game either. We want just a legit.
Or a new
Mario
sport.
Strikers.
New sport. Super Mario.
Sports
Did they have
story
basketball
Mario.
yet?
Mario basketball. Well, they
That was
haven't.
in the sports mix. Yeah.
So there was a Mario basketball game on the DS.
Oh yeah,
I
the
believe
3-on-3.
it was
Yeah.
called Dunks 3-on-3. And they were also in the GameCube version of
V3.
NBA Street Volume 3.
Yeah, that I
Yeah.
knew.
Have
You can play
Mario
as
dunking
Mario.
on people.
Mario, Peach, or Luigi.
Yep.
And it was sick.
It was.
You could also play as Mario as the three of them in SSX on tour,
Oh
which was
yeah.
cool.
Perfect. All I ever
You
needed.
guys
was
reminded me
Mario
of.
snowboarding.
Did any of you play Golf Story? Because they're making
Sports
follow-up
Story.
game to that called Sports
Yeah.
Story.
Story, yeah.
It's dope.
Yeah.
It's good. Or Golf Story.
That's true.
Golf Story's
Yeah.
good. Play it.
I still did play Golf Story, yeah.
I haven't played it.
It's good.
With my golf story or everybody's
Take
golf.
your time.
Everybody's golf is amazing, and
It
you're
is really
missing
good,
out if
yeah.
you're not playing it.
Even in VR, it's really cool.
Oh, I
yeah.
can still play in VR.
Everything's cooler in VR.
You're not wrong.
It sucks that it's a separate game though, not just a mode.
Much like Star
Yeah.
Wars Squadrons.
That's true. Yeah.
Way better in VR.
Tetris Effect, way better in VR. Oh my
Tetris
gosh.
Effect, way better when
better
you're
high.
stoned. Yes.
I can see that. I can see
You're in
that.
the same place. Oh no, I'm speaking from experience.
I'm here with you, man.
Mhm.
No, I'm not, unfortunately.
Do it both. Do it with the VR headset.
Oh my
Get it,
Yeah,
put the
yeah.
VR headset on.
Yeah, it plays, but the VR
Make sure you
headset
sit
on,
down.
that sounds awesome.
Okay. On that note, thank you
That
so
note.
much for.
Don't listen to this episode, Mom.
On that note, thank you so much for
Mom.
watching and listening. Jordan, where can people find you?
You can find me at Twitter at Jordan_Deeb or at twitch.tv/orphangamers. I'm currently streaming some Pokemon, doing the post-game stuff, and going to start the DLC next.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Chris, where can people find you?
You can find me on twitch.tv/RumblePack92. I stream 3 to 5 times a week. I'm currently doing, I guess I'm going to announce it right here for the very first time. Weekends are now Star Wars Saturdays/Star Wars Sundays, depending on when I'm available, and we're going to be rolling through some Knights of the Republic. I just recently started my first ever playthrough of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and I'm always playing some multiplayer shooters with my friends, so check me out there. Follow me on Twitter, RumblePack92.
Josh?
You can find me on all social media platforms at SomeOtherJosh and twitch.tv/SomeOtherJosh.
World's #1 Bug Snack streamer.
Got that
Exactly.
affiliate in a week.
1
Hey,
week.
yes, sir.
What?
1 week. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, y'all.
Cut my 2-week time in half, you dick.
You started from the ground up. You started
I
from
don't want to hear about it now. You're great, dude. You deserve it.
Thank you.
Austin, how about you?
Yeah. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter as Oschin Ernie. There's an underscore in the middle of those. They're two of my nicknames from high school. Don't ask me about them. You can also find some more work. I'm doing some more reviews this year. I kind of took a break from doing written reviews. No, Chris, I'm not doing that. But I'll have more written reviews on lunarhostagegaming.com. It's my blog. Check it out. It will be. I'm starting at the end of this month, and then I'll probably have a review up at least once or twice a month after that.
Nice.
Okay, I guess I'll call on Chris.
Yeah, where are your nicknames from?
He said high
They're
school.
boring, so they're boring. So,
I'm fine. I'm just joking. You don't have to go in it. You don't have to go in it.
Does Ernie come from
What?
Bert and Ernie? Can you confirm?
my last name is Ernst. My last name is Ernst, and my baseball coach shortened it to Ernie. So that was a baseball nickname. And Oschin was a way a friend of mine misspelled my name and put an O in my name. Those are my nicknames.
That's
Hi.
hilarious.
Like it.
Oh, you're a hater, Ernie.
And you can find me over on Twitter at albop875 and on Twitch at albop875 as well. I'm currently you're doing a new year, new games for me month on Twitch. You can watch me over there. Hit the notification bell so you can see when I go live. Going to be playing through some Ratchet and Clank 2016, Uncharted Lost Legacy, Journey. What was it? Tell Me Why, and The Pathless.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Doing this again.
Yeah, Lost Legacies. That's a
But
good
yeah,
ass game.
all 5 of those games I've never played before.
Journey fucks too. So
And I do know Journey the thing at the end, so I was kind of spoiled on it, but I've never
doesn't
played
matter.
it though.
Still a great game.
So looking forward to playing those. But thank you all for watching and listening. Make sure to subscribe and follow us on all your podcast services, and we will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 Oh, goodbye.